Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready? Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready? Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready?
My name is Brandon Walker, and I host the Brandon Walker College Football Show with Brandon Walker. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the greatest college football mind in college football. You are now sitting at the learning tree as I tell you everything that's going on in the world of college football. Hello, Wes Livingston and Mr. Madface Hunter Scroggin, Uncle Kentucky, Jordan Johnson, Michael Lee. Hello to all of you. Now, you may be wondering, Brandon, what is that behind you? I'm going to tell you. That is the Stanford tree. That is what that is. So Stanford tree, along with, I think that's a James Madison helmet, perhaps. That is what's up there. You've got Odell Beckham Jr. in his Cleveland Browns gear. I have no idea why he's up there. The Ohio State helmet. Standard stuff. Hello to Josh and Jason Bradley and Snooze and Jordan Johnson and Gerard from NYC, Charles Colson, Casey McElroy. That's Casey with a K. Could be a girl, might not be. If it's not a girl, that's unfortunate. Gregory Allison, Andrew Coots. Counts, maybe? We need the Coochey? We do need the Coochey. Although I've already been privy to the Coochey's pick, and I will be playing it. Where's the baby boy? Where is the baby boy? What happened to the baby boy? I don't be knowing what happens here. Justin Milam says Rebs because Justin Milam likes to suck penis. Ladies and gentlemen, the television at the Brandon Walker College Football Show that usually houses the Brandon Walker College Football Show logo mysteriously and inexplicably broke last night. It's in these trying times when you really can't question God and you really can't question why things happen. Just know that they happen for a reason. I don't know who broke the TV. I don't know how the TV got broken. That's a mystery that perhaps only the few on this earth can tell us. And frankly, I don't need to know. I don't want to know. I just know that our TV isn't working, and it has moved on to that great TV junkyard in the sky. So, again, nobody did anything to the TV. It just stopped working, and I think we need to leave it at that. Just not real sure.
Just because Michigan shows Penn State has a bad defense.
Just don't think that proves anything. I just don't see how. And first of all, I just poured the water, right? The water came out of the bottle. We all agree. Is that TV working? Looks like a working TV to me. Looks like that TV's working to me. So obviously the computer got wet. It's working. So what happened to the TV overnight? Is water contagious? Did it get passed from the computer to the TV? You can't prove that was me. That water didn't get near that TV. And I don't know why I'm getting blamed for it. That water got nowhere near, and the TV kept working.
It did get near the power surge protector right by your feet.
Shut the fuck up! Question. Stanko, since you have things to say, were you here?
No, but I was watching.
No. That's a one-word answer. I just need to know, yes or no. Were you here?
No.
Sounds like somebody doesn't know what happened. Stefan, were you here?
Thank God, no.
So I guess what I'm hearing is if the guys in production cared about their job more and showed up and stayed till the end of the workday instead of leaving early, they would have been able to stop it and protect the TV. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that it's Pete's department's fault. TJ, is that what you're hearing?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Thank you very much. Shocked that you went along with that. Really stunned, actually.
Whatever.
Stanko, you getting married?
Yes, I
You
Yes, I am.
Fucking idiot.
Many people have told me that, yes.
Why?
Is it cheesy to say because I love her?
Very. Gross. Get the fuck out. The actual answer is usually, oh, she's the best I can do. That's the actual answer. That's what happened to me. It's the best I could do. I was the best young shortstop prospect coming out of Truman Creek Road. All right, we're going to do calls today. 888-STOOL-22. Jason Bradley says Brandon is the king of the South. Katie is the queen of college football. Hello to D. Jonesy and Jordan Johnson. This show is the number one college football show in America. I am the number one college football brain in America. And this show's YouTube channel has the biggest collection of simps for Katie stats in America. That is the truth. If you ever wanted to collect all the simps for Katie stats and put them in one room, you can find them in the YouTube chat of what are you doing?
You keep leaning off center of the shot, so he has to move the camera so it doesn't look really stupid.
I'm not trying to be sarcastic, but do you think we're a little past looking stupid right now? There's a low-res image taped to the fucking TV, a broken TV.
You missed TGA's comments in the chat. He said he doesn't see how the water event correlates, and he was here.
What does that mean? Was he on my side?
Yeah.
Good. We're going to go ahead and vet the calls. We're going to get to the calls. Folks, I think we're heading towards upset weekend. The thing about upset weekend is you can rarely see it coming. We don't have the greatest slate of games. We only have 3 ranked-on-ranked matchups this weekend. I think that's Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio State, Penn State, and Oklahoma State, Kansas State. That's your 3 ranked-on-ranked matchups. But I think past that, I have marked 7 teams I think should be on high upset alert this weekend. And I mean high upset alert. I think we're heading towards a weekend where you're going to have a lot of teams' dream seasons come crashing to the ground. Off memory, I'll have to look in a second, but off memory, starting tonight, I think Utah at Washington State should be on upset alert. They're only 7-point favorites on the road. Washington State very well could have beaten Oregon at home. Utah, I don't think is as good a football team as Oregon. The TCU Horned Frogs, the TCU Horned Frogs should be on high upset alert. They have been living right. They have overcome 3 touchdown deficits twice in a row, and they've been playing injured quarterbacks for a month. They've also been doing it at home. They've won 4 straight ranked games. 3 of them have been at TCU. Only one against Kansas was on the road, and that was against a backup quarterback. Now they go to West Virginia, a tough place to play anyway. Upset alert. TCU. They're about to get exposed. Syracuse against Notre Dame will lose the game outright. They're 6-1. They're going to lose to Notre Dame. The Ole Miss Rebels, trash, will lose to the Texas A&M Aggies. I gotta look because I have several more. Illinois is not in a good spot. Illinois has been doing fun things at home, but now they go on the road as 7.5-point favorites at Nebraska. Nebraska coming off a bye week. The Big Ten West is crazy anyway. Illinois already lost on the road at Indiana. Do not lay 7.5 points with Illinois. Illinois is in danger this weekend. Who's the other one? I had several more. Number 20, UCF is on the road at – no, I'm sorry. Number 20, Cincinnati is on the road at UCF. Danger time. This might be my favorite one. Number 10, Wake Forest. Does anybody believe there's only 9 teams better than Wake Forest in the country? No. Number 10, Wake Forest, 6-1, will lose this weekend when they go to Louisville. Why is that line so short if you're the number 10 team in the country? It shouldn't be, right? And number 21, North Carolina at home against Pittsburgh. North Carolina's been living dangerously all year, and I think it'll burn them. I have those upsets. I said Ole Miss at A&M, Jackson Black. I said Ole Miss at A&M. A&M's going to win that game outright. I got 7 upsets. Murder, Fuck, Kill, Sweet Chin Music, the Rock Bottom, Marry, Fuck, Kill, sorry. Sweet Chin Music, Rock Bottom, Macho Man elbow drop. Kill the Rock Bottom, marry Macho Man elbow drop, fuck Sweet Chin Music.
You know what always bothered me as a kid?
God damn it, what?
The Shawn Michaels action figures, like they couldn't like articulate correctly so that you could do a Sweet Chin Music.
Couldn't quite pull the leg up high enough?
No, yeah, so you had to like kind of go backwards or forwards.
It was basically a drop kick.
Yeah. That always bothered me as a kid.
Don't you still have Shawn Michaels' edition of Playgirl?
No. That's a good one, though.
Jack, you have your tag sticking out. It was implying that you were,
Into gay porn.
Yes.
Right.
I'm
not, for the record.
Hooker or Stroud? Stroud. That's easy. Hooker, who's been great. Hooker has weird numbers. He's had weird numbers for 2 years. Like, his numbers don't match how good he is. And I don't know why. Stroud puts up gigantic numbers. Hooker's numbers never match how good he is. And I don't understand that. Last year, his yards, he's like 50th in the country in yards, but he had 31 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Like, I don't understand why he doesn't put up numbers. It looks like he's putting up numbers. Will moving to 12-team playoff be good or bad, says John Doe? It would be incredible. It would be great. We should do it immediately. We should do it this year. All right, we start. And you know what? I'm going to pay respect to the GOAT. And this guy is the GOAT of gambling picks calling in the show. Well, him and Mark and Philly are twin GOATs. But this guy's been on a heater this year, and I'm going to give it to him right now. He is the Coochey in Toronto. Go ahead, Cooch.
Hey, Brandon, thanks for having me on as always. First and foremost, I need to apologize. My last call went poorly. I came in with 2 picks I liked, and there's an old adage in football. If you got 2 things you like, you don't got one you love. So that's why they lost. We're moving on to Friday night under the lights. I got East Carolina to get it done as moneyline dogs against BYU. Jaron Hall for BYU, he's their starting quarterback. He's god-awful. He's not getting the job done this year. They need to get a change, but their backup, he's probably just as bad. And honestly, that's not the worst part about BYU this year. Their secondary and their defense in general is just atrocious. Their defensive line is allowing other teams to run for 5.12 yards a carry this year, and that's music to the East Carolina ears. East Carolina plus 145 moneyline dogs under the lights Friday night. That's what I got for you.
Count it. Coochey and Toronto. Let's go with it. I am betting East Carolina moneyline dogs against BYU tomorrow night. I was big on BYU this year, but their defense is god-awful. I mean, it is terrible. Just really bad. You're not looking at Hooker's numbers on the ground? I mean, they're not great either. They're fine. It's just, for as good as he is and for as good as my eyeballs tell me his numbers don't match up with how awesome he is. I don't know why Tennessee fans take offense to that. Like, he didn't throw for that many yards last year. It looked like he threw for miles. Evan says, LOL, only Barstool has that name as a person calling in. That's right. Barstool was invented as a company, and then Coochey was named a word shortly thereafter. We're the only company in the world where somebody named Coochey would ever call. Grow up. Did somebody call in as anonymous? Did you write him down as anonymous or what?
They call it as anonymous. We don't do that, though.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that shit. You don't get to be anonymous here. You don't. That's not. We're not doing that shit. We're going to go to Artemis in Missouri. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Brandon.
How are you?
This is JD's. Good. How are you? This is JD's mother. I've never watched your show, and I don't know what this is all about, but you really upset him. Just 2 weeks ago when he was shot with a bow and arrow and I was driving him home from the hospital, he was talking about how great you were and how excited he was to talk to you on your program. But then a few days later when I checked with him, he told me how hurt he was. And I think a public apology would go a long way.
How old is JD?
JD.
You don't know. You're his mother. All right.
I am his mother.
Yep. That's why we're done. That was easy to suss out. I was going with it for a second. And I was like, okay, well, what do you do? What do you do? You ask the mother how old the kid is. And when she goes, I don't know, that's how you do it. Should I tell him about JD or what? I don't know what to do with this situation. I guess probably should just ignore it. He mailed in a painted turtle shell that was painted like a mask, and he wrote how much he loved me and wanted to be my best friend. If JD is earnestly, we're just going to move on from that. We're just going to move on from that. 888 Stool 22. 888 Stool 22. It did sound like a mother, though, didn't it? Like it was a good mom. It was a good mom. Okay. Greg, let's get back to football, please. Greg, go ahead.
B-Walk, two things for you tonight. Wanted to, in honor of it being the Penn State versus Ohio State game this weekend, wanted to talk about my favorite upset that I've ever been to, which was the 2016 Penn State versus Ohio State game.
Sure.
And then that leads into kind of a commentary on where the state of college football is right now. Since then, Penn State fans, there's a delusional subsect that thinks Penn State should go to the college football playoff every year. Right now, they have one loss, probably going to have two after this game, which if they end up going 10-2, that's a good year. But there's a delusional subsect that thinks they need to be in that conversation every year going to the playoff. So my two questions, what's your favorite upset that you've been to in person? And other is just kind of commentary like people need to curb their expectations.
Let me stop you there. Let me stop you there. I got to ask you, I got to answer your question with a question. Why do they need to curb your expectations? Because I look around this country, I think there's 15 teams or programs that ought to be competing for a national title on a year-in, year-out basis, that have the resources, the fandom, the state, the everything to be near the top of the sport all the time. So, and I believe Penn State's one of those teams. Why should fans not think they should be around the national title every year? Why should fans be okay with a coach who goes 0-10 in his last 10 games against top 10 teams?
Yeah, I mean, they shouldn't. I mean, that's kind of the point where you got to be like, all right, we got to start looking.
Am I stupid? What didn't it feel like he was on the? Am I shook? I thought he was saying, but then I answered, and then he's like, but what? People are tying me in knots tonight, man. I mean, they are tying me in knots. Austin in Ohio, go.
Hey, what's up, Brandon? First-time caller. Became a viewer over this past offseason. Started tuning in week by week. If we had to pick a Heisman winner today, who is it? And who do you think wins it at the end of the year?
If I had to pick today, I'd probably C.J. Stroud. His numbers are disgusting. He's leading the best offense in the country. I would say top three, probably C.J. Stroud, and I would follow him with Hendon Hooker closely. And maybe third, Bryce Young, because Bryce Young was incredible in that loss against Tennessee. You know, Drake May deserves consideration. Caleb Williams deserves consideration. But as of right now, I would have C.J. Stroud as your winner, and I think given the nature of him having a big game this week and then closing with a big game against Michigan, I think C.J. Stroud is probably your odds-on favorite to be the winner at the end of the year. Okay. 888-STOOL-22. Max Hacker, the Coochey already called in. Brandon, best John Candy movie. Yes, let's do that. Best John Candy movie, The Great Outdoors. I love The Great Outdoors. Going to go introduce Mr. Thick Dick to Mr. Urinal Cake. Hot dogs. Lips and assholes. I love The Great Outdoors. Uncle Buck is also good. But all John Candy movies are good. Gone too soon. Taken from us too soon. God, he was great. He was also tremendous in Home Alone. That's not his movie. He was great in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Cool Runnings, he was good. How do you feel about the turn on MJF? I'm just not sure it's a turn yet. I don't know. We'll see. What was your worst job? For a month. From January 1st, 2004 to March 1st, 2004, so 2 months. I was a truck driver driving a short haul truck delivering magazines to grocery stores. And I would pick up I would go 5 in the morning, pick up the magazines, and I would go town by town. I had West Point on one day, I had Starkville on another day, I had Louisville. And I did that for 2 months, and then one day I just parked the truck in a gas station parking lot, called the company and said, this is not going to be my life. I'm not doing this. Called them over. They came and got the keys to the truck, and I couldn't do it. But I was waking up at 5 o'clock. Let me tell you the most depressing place on earth. Behind the scenes at grocery stores. If you've ever been a bagger or a checkout guy or whatever, grocery stores are the most depressing places on earth. The little offices they have of just tan walls and no windows, it's awful. Jordan Earhart says, of course Brandon Walker was a truck driver. I don't know what you mean by that. You asked a question, I told you. Let's see. Carter in Gulf Shores, Alabama. Go.
What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I know you like getting under Ole Miss people's skin, so you like saying Lane Kiffin to Auburn, but realistically, we're in the shitter right now. Do you think that this is just going to be a process every 2 or 3 years where we're just going to be, hiring people and then just throwing them in the street? Or, do you think we can actually find somebody that will give us stability?
Carter, do you think I'm joking when I say Lane Kiffin's going to Auburn?
Well, no, it's just I don't think he will. I realized that I listened to Pick Central the other day, and y'all were talking about how you can actually win a national championship at Auburn.
Carter, let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there. I hate that I have to explain this to an Auburn fan. Auburn is 10 times better of a job than Ole Miss. Auburn, at its worst day, is a better job than Ole Miss on its best day. He has gone to Ole Miss, and he's had a couple good teams, and that's fine. But 10-2 is about the ceiling there. There's a reason they just had their first 10-win regular season in school history last year because they're built on lies and deception, and they're not very good. Auburn can win a national title because their boosters and their crazy-ass fans will go out and get the guys needed to win a national title, and they've got the money to do it. Auburn, Lane Kiffin, it's going to happen. I'm not kidding. I'm not making it up. I'm not doing it as a bit. He is going to be Auburn's next head coach.
Thank you, Brandon. Have a great evening, brother.
All right. Don't clip that because I don't know if that's true at all. Although, clip it and hold it. Clip it and hold it.
I wasn't listening. What happened?
I just had a call. I had a good call. But I said something on the call that if it comes true in 2 months, we need to go back to that call.
What'd you say?
Lane Kiffin's going to be Auburn's next head coach.
You said that a billion times.
But he said, are you kidding or is it real? And I gave him a passionate description of
why wouldn't we put that out?
Because I don't want, if it doesn't become real, I don't want to have it out there.
But then we could go back and be like, look, he said it was.
Right. But if we're going to clip it and then we're going to save it, and then we're gonna use it when we need to use it.
But if we just clipped it now and put it out, we'd be like, look how long ago Brandon said this.
But we can clip it, and then we can say when it happens, hey, on October 26th, Brandon Walker said this.
Or we can just put it out now and be like.
But if it doesn't come true, we put it then it's risky.
How's it? It's a win-win.
It's not a win-win. I don't want to.
It's either a flaming hot take or a freezing cold take. Those are both wins for us.
But I don't want a freezing cold take.
You say things all the time that are freezing cold takes. Yeah. I'm putting it out.
Don't put that out. I'm telling you not to put that out.
It's already been out.
That's true. It has
what are y'all doing?
It's been on your TikTok for a couple days.
TikTok ain't real.
Shit. I'm putting it out.
Somebody paid $100?
Czar.
Czar says $100. TJ, the anonymous call is me calling on Skype from South Africa. I have 2 mortal locks in cricket. This ain't a cricket.
How much is 100 Czar?
No, I think that was his name.
No,
it's not.
That's the price. His name's Fire Rat.
I checked earlier. It's not.
It's $5. Thanks for the 5, Fire Rat.
$5.58.
Mount Rushmore of John Hughes movies. I have no idea. Chris Perry says Hugh Freeze to Auburn. You're not connected or stupid if you think that. Mark it down, and you can clip this. Hugh Freeze will never coach at the Power 5 level again. Ever. There will be teams like Auburn and Nebraska say, what about Hugh Freeze? And then they start the background check, and it ends very quickly. There's a reason he's at Liberty. There's a reason the only moral scumbags that would ever hire him in the first place was Ole Miss. You can't run a university and hire Hugh Freeze to coach your football program. That's the truth.
I'm going to clip that and hold it till the end of time, so after he dies, I guess, so that we know it's true.
Why are you fighting back today?
I'm bored.
You're working. Why are you bored? You're at work.
I don't know, dude. I'm dealing with a lot of stuff.
I shouldn't, but I'm just going to answer this. 802 KMVT. I'm just going to answer this. Is Hubs a racist? No. I don't believe 10-year-old tweets tell the story of a man. Anybody walking around in 2022 is not defined by what he did in 2012, and to think that is a weak, pathetic way to lead life. I'm not friends with Hubs. We don't get along. But no, Absolutely not. He's not racist. Tweets from 2012 are a bullshit way to get to somebody. That's what I think. Don't clip that either. Oh, we got 33 more czars. 888 Stool 22. Okay. We go to Jack in Kentucky. Go ahead.
What's going on, B-Walk? I very unfortunately didn't get to call you last week after the Mississippi State game, but I got two questions. What do you think about Will Levis now that you got to watch him play?
He's not very good.
And then how do you feel about us going to Tennessee?
I like you going into Tennessee. I don't know if I love you. Tennessee, they only beat Florida by 5, and now they bagged their big elephant. They've got their big win. But that's a lot of points for Tennessee. Their defense is still average. Your quarterback is not very good. He's overrated. He was overrated going into the Mississippi State game. He's overrated coming out of it. He's not actually going to be drafted where you think he is. You've got a tremendous running game. Chris Rodriguez is awesome and a great defense, so you've got a puncher's chance. I think you'll end up losing like 34-20, but you'll give him a run.
You see, I don't know. I think we got about a look-ahead game. Georgia.
Anytime somebody calls me and says, oh, they're going to look over us, then you're not confident at all. That's such a bitch-ass way to look at football. Oh, we're going to beat them because they're looking ahead.
We win, though.
Huh?
But if we win, we win.
But you're not going to.
They're looking ahead.
They're not going to be looking. They're not going to be looking ahead of you. They had UT Martin last week. They've been looking at you for 2 weeks.
I don't know.
I do know, hillbilly. Don't fucking call and be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Don't say stupid shit. When did this go wrong? When did I get mad? Is Ebo better than you at trivia? God, no. Do you think Auburn would pursue Kansas coach Lance Leipold? Probably not. I think he's going to Nebraska or Wisconsin.
Somebody had a good question in the chat. They said Saturday is a long day for you.
Yes.
What is your pooping plans?
I have a very trained anus. I usually am able to poop first thing in the morning, so I'll wake up and I'll poop at like 7 a.m. and I'll be fine the rest of the day. I don't usually have pooping problems. Atticus in Macon, Alabama. Go ahead.
Hey, Brandon. So I was thinking about this. I'm going to write an article on this, but I figure I might as well get your opinion. So I feel like we leave the coin toss I feel like we, like at the beginning of games and especially in overtime in football, we leave it the coin toss. It's just too much chance that's being left on the table. I've got two proposals, and I'm curious on what you think. And if you have counterpoints, definitely throw them out. What if we did at the beginning of each game or overtime, where we have a D lineman or an O lineman, just some linemen that to do, like, you know, those face-offs that they do in practice that gets all the players really hyped up. What if we did something like that, and, you know, whoever comes out on top gets to choose to, you know, defer the ball and stuff like that? Like, how would you feel about that instead of just having this coin toss?
So you want to do an Oklahoma drill for the ball?
Sure, yeah.
How do you determine who wins and who loses? And do you only pick one, or do you go best of three?
I mean, it's just like, you know, if we have like two linemen just facing off at each other, and whoever gets, you know, pinned down to the ground, like,
I got that.
Body's the other one. Yeah.
What was your second question?
It was just another one. Like, what? Like, it's the same as the coin toss. What if we just did like a throw off instead, like with the quarterback, which quarterback threw it the farthest, like from the end zone, and whoever threw it the furthest would get to choose what they do with the ball.
I don't know if this is a real call, a real question, but I got to be honest. The Oklahoma drill, I hated. I love the throw off so much. I would like a toss off. I would like to toss off during every game. We need toss offs in college football. Yeah. Just line them up at the goal line, see who throws the furthest. Do a coin toss at the beginning of the game. But in overtime, going into overtime, have your best quarterback, and you might even have a guy on scholarship just throws 90 yards. Have your best quarterback do a throw-off. Yes, I like that.
Could do the old XFL start.
That they both
scramble.
They put the ball to 50 and run from the goal line.
First game, one of the guys blew his shoulder out doing that.
And they didn't do it again, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I would say have one guy from each team go out for rock, paper, scissors and make it like a big thing.
Field goal shootout.
You see a guy getting a scholarship because he's elite at rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, like that would become an element of strategy.
Yeah, I played 3 years at Penn State. I was the RPC guy.
Yeah. Best of 3 rock, paper,
RPS.
scissors.
Sorry. I don't know how scissors is spelled, apparently.
They'll be scouting.
RPCs.
Yeah. We got film.
Just has his letter jacket just has a scissor on it.
Yeah. You big rock, paper, scissors guy?
What?
You big rock, paper,
No,
scissors
never
guy?
got into it. Never had friends.
Do you want to play?
I don't.
Take the call down.
You lose.
B-Walk top 5 coworkers. All right. Spider, Enrique, Ebony, Nick Terraney, and Marty Mush. It's my top 5. Didn't see that one coming, did you? Sure didn't. Jack in Minnesota, go.
Oh, Mr. Walker, thank you for having me on. King of the South, King of college football, king of all things good. And if I may say, your quarter zip looks phenomenal today.
Thank you very much.
I had one question. If we lived in a hypothetical world where you could not have a quarterback win the Heisman, give me your top 3 for this season.
I'd probably go Chase Brown 1, Blake Corum 2, and then Zach Charbonnet 3 maybe, and I'm sure I'm missing some. Jahmyr Gibbs been pretty good, and receiver-wise, like I don't know if we've had a breakout. Yeah, I think that's my top 3. I think Chase Brown, Blake Corum, and Zach Charbonnet. And I feel like I'm missing somebody, but what's your top 3?
I think you kind of nailed it. I had those two. Brock Bowers is someone where he doesn't have the stats, but just his, I think Georgia automatically gets someone in the top 3 from how they play. But
I'd like to ask a question about that. I'd like to ask a question about that because that's one of the problems with the Heisman right now. Why you say he doesn't have the stats, but Georgia automatically should get somebody in because of how they played? Why? It's an individual award, not a team award. He doesn't have the stats, so he shouldn't be in there.
I think they always like to have somebody that's playing in the playoff in New York just for the ceremony. It's just a pomp and circumstance, and you always have to have somebody that is.
And that's one of the problems with it. Like right now, on the Barstool Sportsbook, if you look at the top 10 Heisman odds, I think Stetson Bennett's like 6th in Heisman odds. And that's crazy. He has 5 touchdown passes. Outside of the first 2 weeks, he's been outright bad. And he should not be anywhere near the Heisman, but he's Georgia's quarterback. So he's going to be there. So that's just crazy. (888-STOOL-22). I have an arcade machine with every video game ever made at my house now. I just don't. I'm scared. I'm not going to answer line 8 because I'm just scared of St. Louis right now. Do you have any take on that St. Louis call? Was it definitely different? It's definitely different. It's not. You don't think it's a trap?
I guess I don't know. It's hard to tell. There was a woman.
Gabe in St. Louis, go ahead.
Yo, what's going on, Brandon? I promise you, I mean no ill intent by this. I come in peace.
Okay.
I hope you're having a great night. No, I just wanted to bring attention to the Jackson State and Southern game for Jackson State's homecoming this weekend. I know game day is going to be there. Was curious if you've ever been to an HBCU homecoming or like have experienced like that environment before, and if you could shine a light on that.
Never been to an HBCU homecoming. I have been to many HBCU games. I've been to Alcorn State and Valley. I've been to Jackson State and Alcorn State. Covering as a sports writer in Mississippi I was a sports writer in Mississippi for 10 years. I covered a lot of HBCU games, a lot of HBCU basketball games, and they're tremendous environments. The energy, the fans stand the whole time. Like it's something else. And game day is going to be quite awesome this week in Jackson. And Deion's brought a different energy to that rivalry. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
He did not think I'd ever been to an HBCU game. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I guess most people probably would assume you haven't, because most people haven't.
Yeah, but I was a sports writer in Mississippi for 10 years, and there are 3 SWAC HBCUs in Mississippi: Alcorn State, Mississippi Valley State, and Jackson State. And if you cover high school football there, like you so many of your players that you cover go on to those schools that it's just natural that you cover them a lot. So that's also the Jackson State band, the Sonic Boom, is a life-changing experience.
I'll just go online and watch YouTube videos of the HBCU bands playing like modern songs.
Also, don't think this is their homecoming. This is the Big Southern Classic, or they call it something.
Heritage.
Yeah, it's the classic. I believe. I don't know.
Is that the first time game day has gone to an HBCU?
I would almost assuredly assume so. Yes.
That's cool.
Brandon, when a girl walks in with an itty bitty waist and a round thing in your face, what do you do? I get sprung. I don't know about y'all. They did 8 stool 22. Thomas in Chicago, go.
Hey, Brandon. Hope you're having a good day.
Thank you.
I got office trivia for you, and then I got a question for you.
Go.
So with office trivia, this is the last Dundies with Michael Scott. So it's him and D'Angelo hosting. Yeah. Of the 3 awards, Hottest in the Office Award, Extreme Repulsive Award, and Doobie Doobie Pothead Stone of the Year Award, who won those 3 awards?
Yeah, I haven't watched this episode much. I never watched the D'Angelo Vickers Awards much. I think Danny Cordray won Hottest in the Office. Because
Ryan. Yeah, because Ryan's excited he didn't.
Ryan stood up and was like, yeah, he made a big deal of it. I don't remember the Doobie Doobie Pot Smoker or even what the middle award was. What were they?
Extreme Impulsive was Toby when Michael's giving a speech about Toby's disease, and Toby gets up and makes a big deal about it. And then Doobie Doobie Pot Stone of the Year Award was Andy.
All right, now what's your college football one?
And then college football. So obviously today, obviously people have been talking about who's gonna be the new coach at these new schools, and who's a potential hire at schools that may fire someone. So I was wondering, obviously the names are the usual suspects, but who is someone, and obviously I'm gonna bring up Mac Brown. Who is someone who's a Mac Brown who's in later years of life, who maybe is still coaching or is out as an analyst, but who can revive or rejuvenate their coaching career, late in coaching.
Yeah. No, I got it. It's hard to go that late. I'm trying to think who is older that has stopped coaching or is not coaching anymore that could get back in. It's a cop-out answer, but hell, Urban Meyer ain't young, and he's obviously going to be there for the taking for somebody. I don't know if I have a retired coach who's older and has gotten out. Well, never mind. Take that back. Yeah, I do. Gary Patterson will probably get another job. TCU. He did 20 years at TCU. He's a Texas analyst this year. I could see somebody making a run at Gary Patterson. Let's say Lance Leipold were to leave Kansas and go to Nebraska. Don't you think Kansas could do a lot worse than saying, Gary Patterson, come over here? Like, I think Gary Patterson's my answer for that one.
What about Bo Pelini?
He had just such a disastrous defensive coordinator run at LSU 2 years ago. It wasn't his fault. They just were bad anyway. But I don't know that somebody's going to give him a chance. I think he would have to go coordinator first. I do think Nebraska gave him a raw deal years ago, and he should be a coach. But thank you. What was that noise? Was that this one I did? Oh, yeah, it was. I thought, what are you looking at? Is that Dave doing 10X? He's really doing 10X. He looks like a character on a sci-fi movie. Oh, dear. Now I think he's leaning into it, though. Oh, look at Mintz. God damn it. Are you kidding? You got to be fucking kidding me. Brandon, best Stallone character, Rocky, Rambo, or Judge Dredd? Rocky. Followed by Gabe Walker, cliffhanger. Yeah, Stoops is a good one. Casey Waller. That's a good one. I can't hate. 10X. TJ? 10X. Jonathan Irvin says, Brandon, was Freddie Carmichael or Dave a better boss? Probably Freddie Carmichael. Freddie's my guy. Also, you have too many D's in Freddie. Stool 22. Vet these calls, man. I've only got 3 calls that I can look at, and I can say, if you're bored, TJ, take some calls. Let Katie do it. God knows she ain't doing nothing else. Gonna get some stats in the chat for my stat simps. Do you like scallops? Is that a D's Nuts joke? Because I do like scallops. I do like scallops. They're good. They'll trick you, though. Mark in Florida, go.
Hey, Brandon, how's it going, man?
Not bad. How are you?
I'm good. Listen, I want to believe that I'm more of a rational Michigan fan. I do have some worries about how the Michigan State game has gone these last few years. I feel like Jim Harbaugh can be a very stubborn coach who will try to just run. And I think Michigan State does a decent job of stopping the run. They don't stop the pass. And, J.J. McCarthy has to kind of show himself. What are your thoughts on, if the weird things that happen in this rivalry game?
I hate having to give a pep talk to people that don't need it. Let me tell you what's going to happen Saturday night. First of all, Jim Harbaugh, last year was a season of setting things right at Michigan. They finally had a great team. They finally had a great offense. They finally had things right. They finally beat Ohio State. They finally made the playoff. They finally won the Big Ten. They finally did all of those things. But what did they not do? Even after all of that in the playoff, they lost to Michigan State. So even coming off the best year in a decade for the program, they had to hear Michigan State fans saying, yeah, Tuck coming, Tuck coming, Tuck coming, Tuck coming. And you hear that, and you hear that, and you hear that, and you hear that. Well, guess what? This season, Tuck hadn't been coming at all. Tuck's been god-awful, hadn't got out of the garage, and now they got to go to Ann Arbor, to a great offense, to a team that's been hearing Tuck coming all the time. Michigan is going to beat the absolute fucking piss out of Michigan State.
All right, well, let me hit you with this then. Like, how crazy is it that Zach Charbonnet could not break into Michigan starting, behind Haskins, behind Corum? I just think, he fits the culture better at UCLA. Like, Blake Corum is a really, really unique guy, in terms of, like, his personality and how he rolls. I think he fits the culture of what Mike Hart's trying to do. I mean, did you know that dude actually he's into beekeeping in the off season?
I don't know, and no, I didn't know that at all. But Charbonnet,
kind of like you beekeeping.
No, that one doesn't work. That one doesn't work. That one doesn't work. That one I didn't even go for that. What was he trying to say though? Why did he hang up so fast? Did he hang up before the punchline? TJ, were you listening to that call?
He's taking phone calls.
TJ, I need you now. Get off the phone, TJ. Why are you just dicking around on the phone?
I'm on the phone.
Why are you dicking around on the phone? I need you.
Was somebody trying to do a D's nuts joke to
I
you?
think
and
he
you
did.
deflected it?
I couldn't tell though.
What was it?
He said, "Did you know Blake Corum is into beekeeping in the off season?"
Yeah, that's one.
And but I didn't even say anything. I was like, I don't care. And then he said beekeeping this, and then he hung up before he even got to the punchline.
So he's a big old fat pussy.
He was a big fat pussy. That did not work.
Dude, I want pancakes. We should get breakfast tomorrow. We were talking about that on the act.
Dude, was
today.
he not preaching?
Nah, he was facts.
I
would love some pancakes
I
or
would
something.
Dude, just a fat ass breakfast.
We should just get like a chef in
Just
here.
pancakes and French toast and waffles
Yeah.
and bacon and hash browns and eggs. Who's turning that down?
Not
You
me.
can't beat a good ass breakfast.
Whenever I wake up and it's too late to go to McDonald's breakfast, I'm fucking furious. I always want it.
All right. Where are we at? Yada, yada, yada. How do you know Jason? Oh, yeah, he is a good caller. Yeah, I'll get to him. Jason in Houston. I think he's an Alabama fan, but he doesn't want to talk about Bama today. Go, Jason.
What's going on, my brother?
How you doing?
I'm pretty good. I'm not going to say much about Bama today. I know we played you guys last week. It didn't go too well for you guys, and it typically doesn't when you come to Tuscaloosa. But that's neither here nor there. We don't even have to talk about that. What I want to talk about is, well, I got a trivia question for you, one. But two, I really want to talk about Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
I think Clemson fucking sucks, and I'm disgusted because they don't play anybody the rest of the season, and they're going to be in the fucking playoffs. Syracuse had one fucking job, and they blew it.
Yeah, and they played so well, too. And like Clemson, what am I supposed to be impressed with? Is it the 6-point win against Wake Forest, who can't stop anybody? Is it beating NC State, who was disappointing this year even before the quarterback got hurt? Is it beating Syracuse, whose best win outside of that is a home win against Purdue where they got lucky? Like, what's supposed to impress me about Clemson? Clemson wants to say they belong in the elite of the elite this year, but they don't even like their own quarterback. Like, you look at Michigan, you look at Alabama, you look at Ohio State, you look at Tennessee, you look at Georgia. They all know who their quarterback is. They know who all their starters are, and they're going to score points. Clemson can't even keep their quarterback on the field because they want to play a freshman. They don't know how to score points. If Clemson makes the playoff with this undefeated record, it's going to be like Oklahoma LSU in 2019 all over again. They're going to lose 62-14, and it's going to be gross.
And I think, honestly, and I'll throw myself under the bus and say this, like when Dabo was originally came, I won't say originally came to Clemson, but when they first got good, I was like, okay, well, when Saban leaves, we'll take Dabo in Tuscaloosa, and we absolutely will not fucking take Dabo in Tuscaloosa. Dabo sucks, and I think
now, Jason, this is where I differentiate from you. I think Dabo would be incredible in Tuscaloosa. Dabo has beaten Saban. Nobody else can beat Saban. I know Kirby just did it. Nobody else can beat Saban at the big dance, and Dabo's done it twice.
Okay, Dabo has benefited significantly from a very, very, very bad ACC. Like they've never, like if the ACC is terrible. I think Dabo, if he was a SEC coach, you got to think about it. See what Jimbo's doing in the SEC now. He won a national title in the ACC, but that was an outlier, right? Yeah. That one season, it was Jameis. You take away Jameis, Jimbo is fucking Kevin Sumlin, right? So, you know what I mean? Like, Dabo, I think he has benefited from having, like, truly generational talent at quarterback from Deshaun and Trevor Lawrence, and, you know what I mean? And I think the ACC, like, who's the competition in the ACC on a year-to-year basis?
But if Dabo can get Taj Boyd and DeAndre Hopkins and Travis Etienne and Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence, if he can get those players to Clemson to play for Clemson and build a national title there, what the hell can he do with Alabama's resources behind him?
I mean, that's a great point. And I liked him, and then I transitioned from him, and I said, you know what, fuck him, I want Lane Kiffin. And I think Lane is just too goddamn wild. I don't know if we're going to be able to deal with Lane.
Let me tell you about Lane Kiffin. You want to talk about somebody benefiting from a schedule. Like Lane Kiffin, they haven't even been all that good the last couple of years. Now, they're winning a lot of games, but you're talking about a coach that's won national titles in Dabo and not won him. And then Lane Kiffin hadn't won shit. Hasn't won shit in his career as a head coach. And Alabama fans ain't going to do that running on 4th and 9 from your own 30 like they're going to do at Ole Miss. At Ole Miss, it's cute. At Alabama, y'all fire his ass.
Yeah, when Lane, he lost me when we played him last year, and he went out there with the popcorn shit and talking about it's going to be a show and proceeded to get his fucking ass whooped. Yeah. I said, yeah, we don't need Lane.
Lane Kiffin.
I have one question.
Go ahead.
I got a question. Okay, so the trivia question: I won't even ask you. What are the top 5 states for the top 300 players in the country this year? You say top 5 or 6. Of course, you know you got Florida, you got Texas, you got Cali, but I want to see like what are some of the other ones you think come to mind.
Well, when I think college, high school football talent, those are certainly 3 of the big ones. Florida, Texas, Cali. Georgia is also way up there on an annual basis. Ohio is usually up there. New Jersey is usually up there. And then Louisiana's always close to the top 10. Alabama's always close to the top 10. And North Carolina. I think those are the states that I think of. Unless I'm missing one, those are the states that you're usually around it.
Yeah, great. So Texas was 1 with 52.
Yeah.
Florida was 2 with 51. California is 3 with 21. Georgia is 4 with 28. Alabama is 5 with 19. Louisiana is 6 with 16, and nobody else is in double digits. Well, no, North Carolina has 12.
I have a cousin from Florence, Alabama, who's a 4-star offensive lineman. He is one of the ones in Alabama who's a top 300 guy. He's Mississippi, Alabama All-Star this year. He plays at Mars Hill Bible School, and he is currently committed to Kentucky, but I might be working on that. So anyway, Jason, thank you very much for the call. I might have said too much. 888-STOOL-22. Go Julian in Nashville.
All right, Brandon, I want to throw you the alley-oop and let you cook on this one, man. I'm an Ole Miss graduate, but I think that the whole juice hype is the most lame shit in the world. The fact that they're talking about naming our mascot after Juice when there's already 3 other, including our in-state rival, who has a dog as their mascot. It just seems, it reeks of desperation to me. But, yeah, I would like to hear you cook on this one, B-Walk.
Y'all understand when I talk about Ole Miss, I sometimes play a character that hates everything they do, but I will recognize that Lane Kiffin's a very good coach. They've been a good program the last couple of years. He's doing good things, and you know, I can't hate on him. It's hard to hate on him. Like, he's not even unlikable like Hugh Freeze was. So when I say all that, I got to say this. He has a dog named Juice Kiffin that has a Twitter account, @JuiceKiffin, and the Twitter account tweets out things like, oh, I had to see Dad at practice, had to do this, had to do that. And Ole Miss always does this. They take these marketing ideas, and they go too far with it. Like, they one time had a player, and he's gone now, rest his soul, Tony Fine, who did this, and they turned their whole, instead of making it a cool football thing the defense did, they actually made their mascot a shark and made it fucking lame and stupid. And that's, if they go any further with this Juice Kiffin thing and make the dog a part of the program, that's lame and stupid. It's just ridiculous.
You're the goat, Brandon.
Thank you very much. 888-STOOL-22. Why are they bitching about the rundown? Is the rundown out?
What are they bitching about?
On the chat. Andrew and Raleigh, go ahead.
Hey, Brandon, how's it going?
Good, what's up?
I was just wondering, which double Ds do you like more tonight, your wife's or Dave Dorn in the Wolfpack against Tech? Also, K-Stats, what's up? I'll see you in Chapel Hill.
Show about over? Show about over?
2 minutes. Well, And 1 minute and 10 seconds.
I love you all. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you as Barstool fans, but the ones that wait around at 6:30 and then start bitching about the rundown not being out are just terrible people. Guys working on it. It'll be out, okay? Just relax. I do like those titties, though. I mean, man, let me tell you something. If I had to name my top 5 things in the world, like sports, food, dogs, titties is up there. I mean, it's up there. That's a solid top 4. Titties is up there, and they might be number 1. If I didn't eat food to survive, go food, titties, sports, dogs.
Games?
Cheese toast.
That's food.
Yeah, you're right.
The dozen is up next.
Dozen's up next. Smocking against some other idiots. Have fun.
November 11th, we are bringing the Barstool Invitational to the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. That's right, the captain of Philly is bringing our first college basketball tournament. We're doing it all. Halftime show, announcing, tickets, you name it, all us. Game 1, 5 p.m. It is UAB versus Toledo. Game 2, Mississippi State versus Akron. We're doing it all. You want a unique basketball experience? Buy your tickets today. They're cheap. Time of your life. Bang! Bye.